Hi guys, so I'm here today to do my June book haul, and this channel seems to have gone a little bit book haul crazy recently because I uploaded a penguin goodie bag, book haul and an unboxing video which I had 2 books in. None of those books are going to be in this video, so if you want to see those and check out those videos. But obviously all of those were sent to me and I did actually buy myself some books this month, so I thought I would share those with you in this video. Let's start with a book that I've already reviewed that I got right at the beginning of the month, and that's The Portable Door by Tom Holt. Loved this book and have subsequently bought the sequel, In Your Dreams. These are both comic fantasy novels and they follow our protagonist Paul Carpenter, who gets a job at a firm as an admin assistant and he doesn't really know what the firm does. But as the story unfolds, it turns out there's some kind of magical stuff going on there. Don't want to spoil any of it for you, but if you do want to know a little bit more, then check out my review. In general though, loving this series. I'm currently reading the second one and cannot speak more highly about it if you enjoy comic fantasy. I also got 2 graphic novels this month. One that's part of a series that I've been reading for a while, and it's volume 6 of Fables, this one being called Homelands. I've read the first 5 volumes in this series, really love it, and have been meaning to pick this one up for ages. It follows fairy tale characters in the real world as they've had to leave their homeland, which is the fairy tale world, and have now kind of set up home in our world. It has all of your favourites like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio. And then the second graphic novel I got is the first in a series, and it's Jupiter's Legacy by Mark Miller and Frank Quitely. This is published by Image, which is another graphic novel publisher that I really like the work of, and I've been wanting to check this one out for a while as it's about the children of gods. And I actually saw a mini documentary about the artist who is Glaswegian, and it just kind of brought this to my attention and made me really want to read it, so I'm glad to have finally picked up the first issue. The next 2 books were absolute bargains. They were in a deal at FOP, which is a music record DVD shop in the UK who also sell books, and a lot of their books are £3 each or 2 for £5. So I got 2 for £5 and I got The Princess Bride by William Goldman, which I've never read, I've never even seen the film, which is insane, but I hear really good things about it, kind of like a comic fairy tale type book. So I'm looking forward to finally finding out what all the hype is about with this book, and I think it's a lovely cover as well. And then I got the sequel to Rivers of London, which is Moon Over Soho by Ben Aronovich. I have reviewed Rivers of London. I had mixed feelings about it. I was undecided on whether to read the sequel because there was some elements I really enjoyed and some elements I didn't enjoy, but since this was only £2.50 I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot. I hear this book's better than the first one, so this way it's quite cheap for me to try the second one, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. I am intrigued enough to kind of see what happens with this story, and it's a magic realism detective story set in London, and it follows our main character who is a policeman but finds out he can work magic. Now the next book is just a baby book, and it is this Penguin ATP classic, and it's Come Close by Sappho. Now Sappho was an ancient Greek poetess. She is the only female ancient Greek writer to have survived, so she is pretty cool. Although I've read some of her works and have some bind-ups that have bits of Sappho in them, I haven't read all of her stuff and I don't own a complete collection, so I thought I would pick up this little ATP classic. The book I'm actually reading just now is Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. When I was in London, Sana was reading this and she said it was really good. She really sold it to me, and we were then in a bookshop like an hour later and I saw it and thought, hey, I'm going to pick it up. It does sound like a lot of fun. It almost sounds like a YA Handmaid's Tale, although it's not the same, but in a similar genre, maybe for the same kind of demographic. It's a young adult novel set in a sort of dystopian future where all of the girls are kind of created, and the girls are then raised in these schools where the entire focus is being skinny, looking good, acting like a girl, all that kind of stuff, and they're raised until they're about 16, 17, and then kind of men come and pick whether they want any of them as a wife. I also bought myself a non-fiction book this month, and it's not an ancient history non-fiction book. I know, crazy. It's The Honour Code, How Moral Revolutions Happen by Kwame Anthony Appiah. Now this is a history book, it's a modern history book, and it's split into 4 sections. The first section, which deals with duelling in Britain, the second feet binding in China, the third is on suppressing Atlantic slavery in Britain, and the fourth is on the honour killings of women. and I'm probably going to do a full review of this, but it's basically just about how things that are considered honourable get reversed and become considered dishonourable, and how these sort of ideological revolutions happen and how these changes take place. The last chapter was a complete surprise to me. It kind of was dealing with something that is still in practice and talking about how the honour code needs to be changed. I did get sent a few books by publishers and I thought I would share them as well. I first of all got sent 3 PG Woodhouse books, non-Jeeves and Wooster ones, because I have some of the Jeeves and Wooster ones. I have here Cocktail Time, Meet Mr Muliner, and Summer Lightning. These were originally written in the 1950s, and you know I quite like my 1950s literature, so I'm excited to give these a shot, and they are really lovely editions of his work. Published by Arrow Books, which is an imprint of Random House, but yeah, really lovely, bright colours. And last but not least, I got sent The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, and Princess Diaries has been out for ages, you know this. I read it when I was a young teenager, but they recently released the kind of sequel in which the main character, Princess Mia from these stories, is an adult. But not only have they brought out the sequel, they've also brought out the original series with new covers. So this is the new cover for the first in the series, and I'm thinking maybe I'll reread the Princess Diaries now before I read the sequel where Mia is an adult. That is everything I had to show you. I know, a lot of books. Don't know where I'm going to fit them. I'm going to have to start book piles because I've definitely gone past my shelf's capacity. I'm glad I got all of them because I'm excited to read all of them. They're all very exciting books, and in fact I'm going to go and read this just now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye guys!